Hey guys, how's it going? I'm back here with another video, and in today's video, I decided that I'm going to be reviewing a lot of you guys' resumes. So because I know that the job market for programmers right now is probably at an all-time low, I thought it would be a good idea to maybe give you guys some insights based on my previous experience applying and working in a job in the industry, and maybe actually directly helping some of you guys since this is actually something that a lot of you guys have requested me for a very long time. Now, for those who don't know me, I'll go over a little bit of my qualifications to actually speak on the subject. I am pretty young, I'm 22 years old, but I've been coding since I was 15, and I graduated with a mathematics degree at the University of British Columbia in Canada. I've interned at Twitch twice, 2 years in a row, and I've been working full-time at Twitch for almost a year now. I had previous internships before that, and I've applied to multiple jobs in the past and received offers for those as well. Now, I know I'm not an HR person, and I'm not actually the person who's going to choose you for a job if you apply. However, I can tell you what I've learned by spending time with those kind of people throughout this past few years, and actually give you some tips from my own. So before we get into the video, if you could leave a like and subscribe, I would massively appreciate it. It would help push my videos to more people, and I would be eternally grateful if you could do so. So with that in mind, let's get into the video. Okay, everyone. So like I said, I actually requested around 2 to 3 weeks ago for you guys to send me some of your resumes, and a lot of people sent it. I received over 70 resumes. So obviously I actually can't review all of them. So I handpicked a couple of them, and the process of picking them, at least from my side, was I try to pick some with some diversity in location, diversity in quality, and also I tried to choose ones that I liked. So keep in mind, if you sent a resume to me, I 100% looked at it. I looked even on the spam folder of my email. I looked at everywhere, and I looked at each one of them. And I believe that all the tips I'm going to give for all the resumes that appear in the video are going to be applicable to yours as well. And also keep in mind that some resumes don't apply for different places. So demographic, location, all of that matters a lot. Some companies and some countries accept resumes in a different format. So I'm going to give you from the perspective of someone who's working at least in North America. And I think those tips can actually apply in other places as well. So let's go for the first one. This is from someone called Joy Peng. So for Joy Peng, it seems like this is a pretty well structured resume, in my opinion. One page is the standard. I know you guys have heard about this before. You should keep it to one page. And I really like the way this was made. One thing though, I do think this was made with latex. I might be wrong. I'm opening this up on Adobe Acrobat, but just by the looks of it, I think I've seen this template before in latex. One thing I'll tell you is with latex, sometimes it's not good to use it because it can be prone to being hard for resume bots to actually scrape your resume. And in today's day and age, scraping is literally the first step for you to actually get into the next step of the interview process. So you really want to make sure that you make a resume that is very scrapable, because if you don't even pass the screening of the bots, then no human will even look at your resume. So you need to make sure you do all of the things that are necessary to pass that first screening. That includes stuff like putting the keywords inside of your resume, even if sometimes it's just for the sake of putting keywords, making sure your resume is SEO friendly, and making sure that it is written or made in a format that is actually scrapable by the bots. So if you actually didn't use latex for this, I'm sorry, but if you did, this is my tip to actually migrate off from using latex. So education seems pretty good. Seems like you had a really good GPA. Then you went directly to skills. I would probably put skills below work experience. In my opinion, work experience is the number one thing by far. Like if you have a job, or if you've had a job in the past, that's already a huge step compared to people who haven't had a job, right? So I would put a work experience first. It seems like you had an internship first, and then you also had a front-end developer position. I'm kind of confused on why you had this doesn't seem to be an internship, right? So why do you had a full-time job before you had an internship? So I would, maybe you're keeping this in timeline, so actually that might make sense, but I would put the full-time job first. I like that you used actionable words. This is definitely important. But I would also add some numbers, right? If you're able to get those numbers. Not everyone can, but I would add like, oh, I was able to, with this feature, increase user availability by certain metric. Try to get some metrics from it, even if they don't really make sense, or if it wasn't directly caused by you specifically. Adding metrics is important. You need to understand that resume and applying for jobs is kind of like a game, right? You really want to be in front of the competition, and even if you're bending the truth in some way or another. Obviously, I'm not telling you to lie. Don't lie on your resume unless you can actually back it up. So yeah, that's my opinion with this. I like that you put links to everything. That's pretty good. Although here, I wouldn't put the link like this. I wouldn't put directly the GitHub link. I would just make the project be the link, right? I wouldn't write the URL directly. I did like that you put projects over here. I would make all of this capitalized because it seems like on here it is. So you need to maintain a structure. Yeah, everything looks pretty good. It seems like you're still working on this. See present over here. I would capitalize present, by the way. But yeah, it seems pretty good. I like your skills. This is exactly what I was talking about. Putting SEO friendly keywords and all your libraries and everything seems pretty good. Just one last thing. I would most likely put more stuff. Like just blast it. You have space here. Just fill this up. Because the more keywords, the more scrapable your resume is. So I would give this resume an 8.5 out of 10. I really liked it. I think it's similar to mine, so or how mine used to be. So I'll give a good rating for this one. So let's go to the next one. Okay, this one is for Adarsh Education. Pretty good. Technical skills. Like I said for the last one, I would put technical skills below. But again, this is also more like opinion based, right? There's no correct answer. I would put it below because I think experience is the most important thing. What I want you guys to keep in mind is no one will come here and see that you developed this thing that uses JavaScript, TypeScript, Python, Java, whatever. Like this first job experience that you have, no one will look at that and be like, oh, that person doesn't know JavaScript or TypeScript. If you actually worked in the position that uses that technology, obviously they will assume that you know. So this whole technical skills section over here, it's not for the manager that is reading your resume. It's actually for the bots, right? So keep that below, because managers, they won't know if you're actually telling the truth. They will look, okay, this person says that they know JavaScript, but where's the proof of that? Well, the proof is already in your work experience or your projects. So I would definitely keep that at the bottom. So really good. You had a full stack developer intern position, use actionable words just like the previous one. This first two are pretty good. They seem very standard. No like overdoing the UI. Everything looks fine. Really liked the use of links both for GitHub and for the actual project over here. This definitely looks good. Damn, this looks pretty good actually. I would give this a 9. I would give this a 9. This is again similar to how I would do a resume if it was my turn to actually apply for jobs. I'm currently not applying for jobs. I love my job, but if I were, I would use probably something like this. So let's go to the next one. Okay, this one is by Rafael Rios from La Quinta, California, or Canada. I believe this is Canada or California. I don't know. Okay, right off the bat, my opinion, I didn't like the UI of it. I think the blue, I don't know. I think actually not the blue, actually. The blue is fine. I just think this part over here is too convoluted, too close together, too compact. I think education should go on the top because unfortunately nowadays, and till this day actually, companies do look for education, even though FANG companies don't care that much. Most companies do, so I would put education up there. I'm aware that this isn't, this is a certificate. I'm not sure if this is university, but either way, I would put education at the top. Again, skills at the bottom, so I would move this down. Technical experience. So, okay. I understand why you put work experience at the bottom. It seems like you don't have actual programming work experience. This is a service technician. So it does make sense to put this below technical experience, because if you're applying for a programming job, you definitely want to keep this above. But I would not write a whole ass paragraph like this. This is way too hard to read. No manager will have time to read this because they receive many resumes. So I would make it compact, use bullet points for this, and each of these bullet points should actually be a separate project, I guess. This is how it's divided. I'm not really sure. I do believe it is. See, capstone project, Wordle clone. So yeah, I would divide them into bullet points like the previous resumes were actually doing. I would kind of copy the technical and project sections of that resume and put it on this one. And certification, I would also put certification at the top. Since at this point, since you don't have work experience, this two and this are the most important parts of your resume. So they definitely should be above work experience. So I would give this one a 6.5 out of 10. Okay, let's go to this one. Let me zoom in a little bit. This is by Enmol. Your education at the top, pretty good. You went to a couple engineering schools. I'm going to be repeating myself, but my opinion, put skills at the bottom. I would say work experience instead of just experience here. You seem to have a good amount of experience, but I honestly think the formatting here is kind of weird. I think the formatting, I don't know, the bullet point in the middle between two different texts seemed kind of weird in my opinion. So I would fix that. This this definitely looks like it was made with latex. 100% looks like it was made with latex. This looks like one of my math papers back at university. So I would, again, take the advice I gave for the first project, first resume, and follow that as well. But it looks pretty good. I don't like how you divided the bullet points though. I think this should be how you start, and this should be how you start, where you start with the actionable words, and then inside of that you can maybe even bold some points where you explain why you meet deadlines, why you have front-end proficiency. That's just my opinion, but I think that would actually make it better. Maybe bold this over here, like notably achieving a staggering 400,000 hits in one of our groundbreaking endeavors. That's actually really interesting, and you should bold that out instead of bolding that you are able to collaborate in projects, because that's something that, to be honest, most people can do to some extent, right? Like no one's gonna say they can't collaborate in projects, right, when you're applying for a job. So I would actually bold out the most important things here as well. I wouldn't say impressive. It seems like you're, I don't know, you want to show off in your resume, but at the same time you don't want to be like, I don't know, acting kind of cocky. So I would definitely remove that. I liked your project section. I would bold projects though. Actually, I would bold all the sections here. But the projects, seems like you have a good amount of projects. Seems like you were very direct with them. You have a good amount of achievements. Pretty good, actually. 6th place at a hackathon. Winner at something. I would not put extracurricular activities here. Actually, I would remove completely anything that is not related to what your job is meant to be. Point blank. A lot of people used to put stuff like soft skills and like, oh, I like to play football, I like to golf, stuff like that. Not that important, especially for programming. No one will hire you because of that, and it might actually backfire if you put something like that. So I would give this resume a 7 out of 10 because I kind of liked it. Okay, let's go. This is one of the first more UI-centric resumes. So this resume is for Egypt, someone working in Egypt. It seems like you put some education, work experience, skills. Again, I do think this was made with latex. It looks like a latex template. I would not use that. I think my honest opinion about UI-centric resumes is that you just shouldn't overdo it, you know? Like, you want to stand out for sure, but you shouldn't overdo it. And I think to some extent, this one is not that bad. This one isn't one of the bad UI-centric resumes. This one uses good value of its space. Like it has 2 columns over here. Seems to put a lot of stuff into the page, into a single page, which is hard to do. I like that you put work experience first. You put Next.js developer, which seems to be good because you not only explained what kind of programming developer you were, but it is an actual position. Let's see, it was an internship. Again, good use of words for the bullet points. And yeah, it seems pretty good. Oh yeah, if you're applying from outside the United States, it's always good to put that you know English. Because programming is in English. So a lot of companies might want someone who is fluent in English. Yeah, pretty good. Good projects. Since you I would actually remove one of the projects just to make this align in height, because kind of there's some empty space over here, which it's usually not good when you're working with something like this. But yeah, I would give this 7 out of 10 as well. Okay, on to the next one. This one, okay, let's take a look. Straight off the bat, I like the design. I like the design 100%. It looks cool and clean. I would merge these two together because it seems like they're from the same university, but one is just an honors degree and the other one is just their normal computer science degree. What I don't understand is it like an honors degree in computer science? I would definitely merge them and just put like honors degree on parentheses or something. Oh, it seems like it's still ongoing. I'm not really sure how this works, but I would try to merge them since they're from the same university. Okay, definitely put work experience before projects. Like I said, it's more important, especially because it seems like it is an actual programming work experience. Really good use of bolding here to actually show how like numbers are essential when you're trying to promote yourself, because technically, if a company is hiring you, they want to have an ROI, right? A return on their investment. And by providing concrete numbers of how you can bring them that ROI, you're able to catch their attention more easily. So I would do that as well. Good use of skills. Yeah, finally someone put skills at the bottom. I would put more skills though. Exaggerator skills. Put any skill you, even if you're remote, like just use that programming language once or twice. I'll put it there. But if you do that, make sure you're not applying for a job that actually is fully requiring that specific language. Okay, it's just so you can pass the bots. Okay, good achievements. Okay, I wouldn't put volunteer experience over here. I would put just leadership experience. My opinion. I was gonna say remove this section all completely, but it seems to be that you're actually, for the Google Developer Student Club, I think my university had one of those, and it was actually pretty good. So I would keep all of this stuff, but I would change the title. But overall, I think this is a good resume. I would give it an 8 out of 10, honestly. Okay, so this one is by Edward Castaneda from Chicagoland area in the United States. By Chicagoland, is it in Chicago? Probably, but honest opinion, it seems like I didn't like the UI. I'm gonna be honest right off the bat. Didn't like the UI. I think this technical skills thing over here occupies way too much space when you can easily put all of them in one line, and you should put more skills than just this. I think it definitely requires more, because jobs will want you to put at least Git. At least put Git here. Even if you don't know, you can learn it in one day. I would put it here because it's definitely gonna not pass one of the scanning bots. Work and project experience. I would separate both of them for sure. I would make 2 sections. Work first, project second, because right off the bat, it's hard to understand if I'm a manager which ones are actually work experience and which one are projects. So separate them. I would probably remove the sales associate, unless, okay, I would remove this. I know you're probably transitioning from a different job, but I would remove this, especially because it seems like this is actually going to 2 pages. So this is the first 2-pager that we received. 2 pages is an automatic no-go. I would remove it, make it smaller. You can easily make it into 1 page if you just put this in one line. So I would definitely do that. And yeah, looks okay overall. I would give it a 5 out of 10, to be honest. There's a lot of work to be done. I would even put some maybe some bars, like take inspiration from the previous ones that I gave a good rating to actually make it look better. Another one that in my opinion looks like latex, but I might be worrying about that as well. Education first. I wouldn't bold. No, not bold. I wouldn't like capitalize the whole name of the university. That seems like you're screaming at me, but not that big of a deal. But I would definitely make it camo case. Okay, projects. One thing though, the titles for the project seems to be too big. They seem to be as big as the project section title, so I would change that for sure. It seems like you don't have any work experience, so that's totally fine. A lot of people don't have job experience when they apply for jobs, so projects is actually what I would put first as well. That's what I did personally when I applied for my first job. So pretty good with this. It seems like your bolding stuff kind of out of, I mean, bolding technologies is fine, but like I don't know. I would be careful with the bolding here, because if you overuse bolding, it makes it useless, right? Because you're not actually bolding what's important. Like, see, you're bolding here the word build. I would not do that. I would bold Docker, because that's a technology that maybe a company wants. But see, you bolded minimized errors. I would also not do that. But overall, I would change the font, in my opinion. I think the font is way too big, and also kind of I don't know, kind of weird to look at, in my opinion. A good amount of technical skills. Again, I would even put more if I could, but good. This will pass a bot, in my opinion. And coding profile, I'm not sure if this is necessary, because I mean, I don't know, like 5-star in Java on HackerRank. I don't know how many companies will care about that. Maybe at different countries they do, but at least from a North American perspective, they don't. And research paper, definitely cool, especially because it's programming related. Certificates as well, that's all cool. I would give this one a 6.5 out of 10. And this was all the resumes I reviewed in this video. It was a lot of resumes. I probably cut out most of the resumes. I actually recorded myself reviewing, just because I don't want this video to be too long. But I hope you gain value from this. I hope you can apply the tips that I gave you. If you saw me repeating some things with many different resumes, it's because I think it's the most important thing for you to change. And it's the mistake that is most commonly made. So if you want to get ahead from most people, don't make the mistakes that most people make. You know what I mean? And I hope you take all of the tips and pieces of advice that I gave with both a grain of salt and also with a positive mindset, that the job market right now is pretty tough. I'm aware of that. I'm grateful enough that I have a job, but I've seen way too many people lose their jobs. And I do think it will get better with time. I wouldn't discourage you at all. I think it will get better with time, but continue applying and tweak your resume, make the changes so that you can get ahead of the curve. Remember that this is a numbers game. You definitely have to apply for a lot of jobs. When I got my first job, I applied for over 500 positions, and eventually I got the job of my dreams. So I hope that this serves as inspiration for you guys. So yeah, that's basically it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like down below and comment what you want to see next. Subscribe, because I'm posting twice a week, and I would massively appreciate it. And I see you guys next time.